This is working? Yeah. Thank you very much for a very interesting talks and issues. There are a few things that I would like to share with you from the experience of a small country which has been investing proportionally large money into research and development without having doctoral programs until, let's say, 5 or 10 years ago they started, etc. I am very much in favor of looking at the world from the individual, from the student, from the person that wants to learn more and wants to be able, get skills, etc. And for that individual, wherever he is or she in the world, sees a lot of immigration laws, borders, boundaries, national money for funding doesn't go across borders, etc. And this is something that I know within Europe, the European Union, and the extended European Economic Area, this is getting a little bit better, that countries are sharing funds, etc. I would like to ask you, do you see any possibilities for the future that the world could be some sort of one funding area? I know this is an utopia. This is one thing. I'm also a little bit hesitant when I hear, and we are using this in all our papers here, sending country and receiving country. I don't like this. I mean, the country is not sending people. Hopefully not, because I don't think that is a good way of doing it. I think the individual is seeking the best way for him or her to get what he or she needs. So we could maybe use seekers, and then there are some providers. And the providers are not countries, they are institutions all over the world. So this is more the way I would like to look at it. And the idea of country relevance was mentioned. And I'm not very fond of that, because I think that is a danger in doing that to an extreme, that we know if we are making a policy today on where the country or the state or the society will be in a 10 years time, we have no idea what that will be. So be careful about it. I think it's easier, and I think this is the Icelandic experience, to set people free in a way. Most of them have come back. But set them free in a way that you give them opportunity to seek knowledge all over the world. And don't tell them where, and don't tell them what to seek. Because when they come back, they are probably coming back with knowledge that you would never imagine when you sort of defined previously that they should become engineers in this or that, or physicists, or whatever. So keep the freedom, and don't talk too much about country relevance and today, because what is relevant today is not necessarily relevant when these people come with the doctorates. Another very quick remark. It was mentioned, our South African colleague here, on what's really in a doctorate, what is it for, what does it produce? And it was said that there is no real evidence that there are correlations. You can see correlations, but there is no real evidence that this is creating innovative things in new products and things like that. This is something that we have been looking at in Iceland. We have high-tech companies, we have a lot of people with doctorate proportionally, but we are seeing the export of high technology product is extremely low. And we've been wondering, why is that? One of the things that are missing between the education, the doctorates, and let's say products in a wider sense, not necessarily technology, but products in a wider sense, is that there is a large gap to bridge with money between the research and something that comes out on the market in a wider sense. And this money that is needed, that is a much larger amount of money and much larger tolerance, yeah, you need much more time and much more money to get it, and that is maybe the key to let the people with a PhD be able to produce something. That is it's not the PhD and the content. It is of course the basis, but it's the way to bridge the gap towards the product. I think that this will be it. Thank you.
Thank you, Beate. I would like to come back to something that Mary Lou Kearney just said in the previous round, and what is kind of driving us in circles here, I think, and that is the issue that on the one hand, you know, competition and finding out who is the best, and you know, attracting best talent in order to be more competitive on a national or even global scale is something that kind of acts almost like a contradiction to the equity and equality agenda, because that is normative and the other is economic, and economic is always, you know, it always wins out. That's the current lead discipline, so to say. It used to be different in other times, but that's right. But the thing is, and here I would like to come back to Mary Lou's intervention concerning differentiation. In terms of differentiation, it is clear that we probably all agree that mass higher education systems need some kind of differentiation. But why do we think, in terms of differentiation, always in terms of hierarchy? Like, you know, rankings, like excellence initiative, like the research assessment exercise, and so on. What that kind of view on differentiation does is to turn the others who don't make it into losers or second-class institutions. It leads to concentration on the one hand, and basically the other side of the coin are, I'll put it pointedly, research-free zones. Basically, more or less, if everything concentrates in only the best institutions. And that would be on a regional, national, even global scale. So South Africa, or not South Africa, but the African continent would basically, you know, everything would be concentrated in Europe and the US and maybe Japan, and Africa is going to lose out on that. So you can see that on a global scale. But there are other forms of differentiation. And these could be, you know, applied in many systems, and I'm thinking of functional or horizontal differentiation, or even intra-institutional differentiation. And with these forms of differentiation, you can deal with mass system and you know, increasing demand for study places as well. It doesn't only have to be a hierarchical or vertical differentiation.
Okay, mine is more like of a comment concerning the inequality issue. I was listening the possible means of decreasing this inequality, catching up the balance means, and then in that one, as Sandra also mentioned, that it's very important to see what are the problematic areas. So even though Hans said that he wouldn't prefer to define it as sending countries, but I guess a bit more focus is needed on the problematic areas of sending countries, why people are not coming back, and what should be done over there.